Thanks for coming out here. A self-selected group of community builders is probably the best group of people to eat lunch with. You chose to be here and you chose to do something altruistic. Which kind of segues into what I do. So I'm a teacher by trade, trained teacher at the University of Iowa, and I teach at Solon High School. It's a very, very good school. Solon is athletically and academically gifted, and so teaching there is kind of just like playing slow pitch softball. The kids come at you and they're just ready to learn and super happy and well fed, and the parents are all nice. And they walk into your room and they sit down and like, what are we doing today? I'm like, we're going to do boring math. And they're like, okay. And they do it. And so the idea of community building there just doesn't seem necessary to me. And so when Amanda asked me the question, why community building? Honestly, 2 years ago, I said, I don't care. I don't know. My community is great. I don't know what's wrong with your guys. But that's the problem, right? I mean, that's the fundamental issue that's broken here. And I was wrong as well. So this last school year, we attempted to change some things. And so we attempted to do some things that were truly transformative. We attempted to do some things that really engaged kids. We attempted to change the way we grade them entirely, which you think sounds esoteric, but grading kind of underpins the entire academic experience. And when you mess with that, you mess with what people think of as important. Well, do I do my homework? Do I study? I mean, those are the real things that affect what their kids know. Like, to go to the same college I was going to get into. So we found out we just smashed this nerve with an ice pick, and we didn't even mean to. And then we started to change some other things. And we started to demand better work from our students. And we said, you know what? Credit doesn't just mean you did a worksheet. Credit means that you went out to the community, engaged somebody with this idea, and they gave you feedback, and then you actually used the feedback to do something, which is wildly different from most kids' high school experience. These kids then came back to us and their parents with pitchforks and torches. And they're saying, this is ridiculous, this is too much work, this is not how I went through high school, I turned out totally fine. Why are you doing this to us and my kid's not going to Harvard, I wasn't going to Harvard anyway, but now we really can't. And so this hit me like a ton of bricks in May of this year. And I was like, oh my God, Amanda and Trace, all that sort of hippie talk they've been talking about is all right. This is broken. There is no community here because I used to be their favorite teacher, and now they're throwing me under the bus. That's not what you do to somebody that you have a strong community with. And to all the other teachers, and we were doing it to the parents, and the students were doing it to everybody. And that's just not solid community. And so to teach in my school and have that be the environment this year compared to last year, it just sort of lit a fire under me and said, wow, we are not explicitly building community here. We were just happy that everyone was white and well-fed. That was our community. And that's a pretty poor foundation for a community. So I've been lucky enough to be able to help answer this question, why. It was pretty broad to me as to why, but they let me on the team to sort of try and answer this question. And we're trying some things that are explicit community building efforts. So we used to do things like reporting news. And you say, oh, well, you read this story, you know about Solon now. Well, you forget about it in 12 minutes after you read the story. So that's not really building community. So we're trying to take source media and push it in a direction where they're explicit about it. Can we actually grab teachers that self-identify like you all have today and mush them together in a group and then actually pay for them to go and hang out? Pay them their time, pay for their subs, get them together so they actually do work together. Can we take people from the community, like yourselves, and put them back into schools and form design committees where they spend time as a student, and then they come back and tell us, well, this is what I saw in our high schools that are actually happening in vivo today. Can we take teachers from all around Iowa, bring them together, and come up with the common themes that these people are actually worried about? So we take a media company who used to just tell you what was news, and we flip that on its head, and we say, no, we're gonna poll the community, we're gonna work with the community, and have them tell us what's news. And that's the work we're trying to figure out this year. So I used to think community building was kind of a sham until my community fell apart. And now I realize that it's probably the only thing worthwhile that I do any given day. So thanks for coming.